Gender violence is an act or social pattern of aggression, coercion, or limitation of women's physical integrity, freedom, dignity, or well-being, as defined by the UN Declaration for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. Around the world, we see common patterns of femicide, sexual violence, human trafficking, and forced marriage. It's important to emphasize that these forms of violence occur both in war and peace, across democracies and dictatorships, and at the hands of states and militaries, but also private, civic, and transnational actors, from employers to traditional authorities to families and friends and neighbors. The pathologies of patriarchy are present in every society, but there are distinct levels and patterns of gender-based violence that correspond to the social logics of a set of power relations that we call a gender regime. A gender regime is a combination of a society's institutions, practices, and cultural expectations regarding the social, sexual, and reproductive behavior of men and women. This social contract of gender roles is constructed jointly through the global, the national political economy, patterns of political power and citizenship, which gives access to political power, and cultural institutions such as religion, education, and the media. The gender regime generates violence because it establishes rules for compliance with gender roles, expectations for how to deal with contradictions, and the legitimacy of violence to deal with contradictions, and also the repertoire to question or transform gender roles. The range of international responses that we do document in the CIDOB special issue includes changes in the international human rights regime, such as CIDOB, transnational, national, and local social movement campaigns, international legal reforms and the diffusion of national repertoires like the due diligence principle, international programs for the promotion of gender-based public policy and development programs like UN programs for secure access to water and sanitation, and cultural campaigns and movements at all levels, including media and civic institutions, to raise consciousness and change public opinion, from the Ni Una Más movement in Latin America to the Me Too movement. Social science can help to guide our analysis of the roots and the structural causes of gender violence and offer us a comparative human rights framework for an issue that is too often seen as personal, cultural, or a psychological problem. For example, there is a strong correlation between the national level of gender violence and the level of economic inequality in a country. And of course, that's related to a country's international relations. At the same time, gender violence is a problem that crosses the levels of analysis of international relations. As feminist theory reminds us, public power and international power relations help to construct the microdynamics of this supposedly private violence, as we see in the use of rape as a weapon of war. In addition, the academic study of responses to gender violence, such as models for legal reform, the problems of access to justice, can help us to design more effective and more focused programs, policies, and campaigns. In this sense, the special issue, number 117, of the Revista CIDOB on gender violence and international relations aspires to serve as a rigorous academic contribution to the understanding and debate on the causes, responses, and international patterns of violence against women worldwide.